Alright guys, excuse me, welcome back to Faith, the Unholy Trinity. Alright, so we've done Chapter 1 and we've done the prologue for Chapter 2, so now it's time to actually do Chapter 2. So let's get right to it. So at the start of this chapter, we actually play as a new character called Father Garcia, which, depending on which ending you got at the end of Chapter 1, it may or may not have mentioned this dude. Father Garcia, you are hereby instructed to release Michael Davies from your custody and return him to his home immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Davies have already been contacted by our office. A representative of the church is currently en route to their home to discuss compensation in return for their discretion. You will meet our representative there and accompany him back to Rome. Cardinal Gifford. As you can see, he walks just as slow as John Ward does. So this is what Michael Davies used to look like before he was possessed by a demon. This was after holding him for 1 day. This is holding him for 2 weeks. And then this is him holding him for 3 months. He's not looking so good. So yeah, for 3 months, Father Garcia has kept Michael Davies, this guy from Chapter 1 who was stalking John Ward, and just kept him locked in his basement trying to exorcise him.
How are we doing today, Michael? I like the cotton. You can't go home until you get better, Michael. Can I see Mommy and Daddy? I need to make you better first. When can she let you get on me? I'll kill you. If you find them to be people. You're laughing, pendejo.
Pendejo, huh? Let's see how you like the cross. Oh, he's bleeding. Oh, and he broke himself free. Hey, get back here, Michael. Oh, and he's got some symbols on the wall there. Oh, he took his picture of what he looked like after 3 months. So yeah, when you're wandering around the forest in Chapter 1 as John Ward, the reason he goes after you is because of what Father Garcia did to him over these 3 months. He's developed a hatred for priests. And John is dressed as a priest, so of course he's gonna hate him. Good lord.
Dios mío, what have you done? I have the body of a pig!
I have the body of a pig!
I from God, evil. You shall reap the wrath of the Almighty.
And then he runs sideways like Zoidberg. I like his sideways run. It's 2 a.m. Okay, and now we are back as John Ward. Have you forgotten? The notes people leave behind seem to exist on the edges of memory. Pressing the escape key or the start button is a good way to remember what you don't realize you have forgotten. So we're in a completely different place now. Oh man, that poor deer. It's been mutilated. The current investigation being conducted at Gallup Cemetery by the State of Connecticut Historical Society has been postponed until further notice. In the interim, we ask the public to avoid the cemetery grounds, the surrounding woods, any wildlife, and any unidentified persons roaming the area. Thank you for your patience. Alright, so, welcome to Gallup Cemetery. I think this one can... yeah, this can be purified. I shook hands with the devil. I looked him in the eye. He looked like a long-lost friend. Yeah, well, the devil does that. Dearest disciple, verily not everyone who says Lucifer, Lucifer shall inherit his kingdom. You must first conjure his demon. You must then serve his demon. You must then walk among the children of men as his demon. Thus shall you receive the blessing of the unspeakable. Return to the safe family tomb whenever you are in need of rest. Gary. There's that name again, Gary. Enter the spirit house. So here's some more members of that cult. And they've got some of those symbols carved into their bodies. Oh. It's us holding a key. And their souls seem to have left their bodies. So we've got to go purify those souls before we can get anywhere. But if you do need to save, like the note said, just return here and it'll auto-save for you. Alright, so let's head to the right first. That's a creepy statue down there. It is with great sadness that the Sterling community announces the passing of Cindy Marie Martin, 38, and Robert Kimball Martin, 40, devoted husband and wife and beloved parents. Their lives tragically came to an end on September 21st due to an accident in their home. Yeah, accident. Bob was a training advisor for the United States Navy, and Cindy was a CPA, and more recently, a stay-at-home mother. They were married March 12, 1969 in Volunton. Though not particularly religious, they taught their children to be kind, generous, and involved in the community. A public closed casket memorial will be held at Tillinghast Funeral Home at 10 a.m. Thursday. Burial services will proceed shortly after. Bob and Cindy are survived by their daughter Amy and twin boys Nate and Jason. Yeah, unfortunately Amy ended up killing both of her parents due to her possession. So let's purify the skull. And the door's unlocked. Oh, the statue moved. Great. Excuse me? But yeah, I mentioned this in the prologue, but notice how John's cross has gone from gold to silver? It's supposed to be a sign of his weakening faith. Let's go through here. Hello, demon. I think this one's called Umbilical Demon. Violator? I didn't do anything. Nobody was thrilled when I got pregnant. Not even a little happy. Even my doctor seemed to be judging me. Each time I'd leave the doctor's office, I'd see this strange woman across the street. All she'd do is stare at me and smile. No words, just a big, warm smile. Somehow it made those visits a little more bearable. After I lost the baby, I saw her again across the street from the doctor's. Her smile was as big as ever, but somehow not as warm and friendly as I remember. Yesterday I was walking and I was shocked to see the woman standing in the middle of the path. Now she was pregnant. She beckoned towards me. I followed her off the path into the woods. That's when I met Gary. There's Gary again. Right, so there's 3 demons that we have to kill before we can get that key. So that's 1, so we got 2 more to go. Alright, so let's go down first. Alright, so this is the Mist Demon, which is basically a child. Gotcha! Losing Grandpa was the hardest thing I ever experienced. We were really close. I cried about it for weeks. Then my stepmom introduced me to some of her friends. They asked me, "Would you like to see your grandfather again?" I missed him so much I was willing to try anything. That night my stepmom drove me to one of her friends' house. They took me down to the basement. I saw my grandfather in there. Only it wasn't actually him. When I tried to run, they closed the basement door and locked me in. I can't remember much else from that night. My stepmom's friends are always coming by the house. They tell me I have a debt to pay. They say they have work for me to do. Oh man, this poor kid. He didn't even want to be part of this. Alright, now these statues here are actually important. You want to look at them going from left to right. So they're pointing right, up, left, and up. Because we're having a bit of a Lost Woods situation up here. So let's go right. Up. Left. And up. Now if we did it correctly, you'll see that demon appear briefly there, and then you'll be able to fight it. I'll see you again. I've been freed. No more overbearing father turned violent alcoholic. No more hiding my bruises and cuts. No more pills and needles. No more getting laughed at and kicked around. They'll never laugh at me again. By day my body withers away, but by night my mind explores forbidden worlds of power and knowledge, guided by beings of pure darkness. I have been trusted with secret knowledge of the demon's seal. I have learned the correct conjuring sign, drawing the inverted star along the rocks arranged in 5. First at the top left point and then down. I will lure them into the woods. Then I will show them my power. Oh boy. That was one messed up dude. Now that note is actually important for one of the different endings later, but we're not going to do it right now. Alright, so that's all 3 demons exorcised. Oh, the statue here changed. So let's go back into the save tomb. And our reflection is already waiting for us. Ah! My eye! Well, we're bleeding now, but hey, we got the key. Alright, let's make our way north. Alright, so we are out of Gallup Cemetery, and it looks like the bleeding stopped, thankfully. Okay, tree demon. I like how we see that, and then of course the next screen has to just be filled with trees. Now, believe it or not, that's actually just a jump scare. You see that tree demon once, you never see it again. But I love how that happens, then they put all the trees here, so of course you're gonna be, like, paranoid now. Like, ooh, do I try to raise my cross at all the trees? When you're not actually in any danger. She guards the door to underground purgatory. I have not seen her, children fear her. So this is the same church that was from the prologue, Snake Meadow Hill Church. Will you help me? Look, it's that scarecrow again. I had to come back. I had to walk through the corn one last time. I wasn't sure what I would find. The dogs? The children? The thing that took them? It had been 5 years. I couldn't even find the little graves anymore. I just walked in the field until I found that stupid grinning scarecrow. As I listened to the night wind blowing through the crops, it was like the scarecrow was mocking me. I turned around to go back, and that's when I heard it behind me. Well, it was more like I felt it. I didn't dare turn around. We just stood there. Me, the scarecrow, and the doomed child. Finally, I mustered up a tiny bit of courage and turned to look. It immediately fled in the opposite direction, crashing through the rows of corn. I ran too. What little I saw of it drained the blood from my face and made my skin crawl. I say it, because whatever I was looking at didn't have a face, just a bloody, gaping hole. So this area here is part of a second part of one of the alternate endings. Again, we're not going to mess with it just yet. So instead, let's just go into the church. Confess thy sins. Day 1 of our paranormal investigation into the old Snake Meadow Hill Church. We've got 3 cameras, a box of tapes, and enough beer and beef jerky to last us a week. On our way in, we asked some of the locals about the church. It was mostly the stories we had heard before. Evil spirits dragging children into the cornfield and secret tunnels under the chapel. But there was this Spindly Lady game that we hadn't heard yet. Apparently has to do with summoning the spirit of a woman who used to take care of the orphans back in the 50s. There was an old rhyme they told us. Walk the church from room to room and maybe you will see her. She will move when you do, but never try to trick her. Awesome. We're gonna try the game tonight as soon as we get settled in. So yeah, the layout is a little different, but it is the same church from the prologue. Night 3. Shouldn't have come here. Tapes missing. Lars stuck behind basement door. Henry hasn't come back yet. Can't leave anyway. Well, sounds like this paranormal investigation team should never have come here to begin with.
Pray for me, Father, for I have sinned. What sins have you done to confess? I tried to save a girl from evil, but my fears overcame me. I turned my back on the ministry and broke my vows to God. A year later, the girl reached out to me again, but in the end, I couldn't save her. I left her to die. I am sorry for me and my past sins. Thou hast said will. Here is my penance. Bring the child to me. Perform the
Excuse me?
sanctification, and thou shalt have the peace thou seekest. Give thanks to the Lord for he is good. For his mercy endures forever.
John, I don't know if you heard, but, that didn't exactly sound like a friendly voice on the other side of that confessional there. Let's purify this. Night 1. We still haven't found a way into the basement, but we found something just as cool. A secret passage in the old confession booth leading to this hallway. Henry's going into town to buy a crowbar. We'll see if we can't get these boards off of some of these doors. But that's not even the best part. We caught an EVP. You can't hear it on tape very well, but to us it kind of sounded like laughing. Thank God we brought the nice mic. We'll review it on the sound gear once we get back into town. We actually caught an EVP of someone laughing. Electronic voice phenomena. So while you're going through here, keep an eye on the candles. It's actually serving as a map of this place, so there's 9 rooms total. Oh wait. No, 7 rooms total, my bad. The candle right here, that's our current position. The other candle represents the Spindly Lady Demon that's going around this place. As you're moving, she's moving. So it's basically tracking both of your positions. The note here did say that don't try to trick her. What that means is don't go between 2 rooms, like, repeatedly, because that'll cause her to appear and just kill you instantly. Okay, so she's just moved to the secret passageway behind the confessional. Now she's below us. Night 2. We're gonna be rich! We've caught supernatural stuff on camera before, sure. Doors opening on their own, things falling off of shelves, but nothing like this. Tonight, while we were trying the Spindly Lady game again, one of the candles on the floor lit up by itself as soon as Lars walked into the room. It was nuts, and we got it all on film. We're gonna make a fortune selling this to the TV stations. Yeah. Too bad you didn't make it to sell those, huh? There's that picture of a hand coming out of a carved face again. Just like Amy. Okay, we just swapped positions just now. Right, now she's above me. There's that cross from the prologue. Watch the candles. Trying to catch her can sometimes be a pain. Come on, Spindly Lady. Are we gonna catch her now? Oh, she's here. The candles have converged. Where are you hiding? There you are! Alright, let's dance, lady! Alright, we got her. She also kind of sounds like she's saying, "Carrot cake!" But yeah, she warps 3 times and then she rushes at you. That's her attack pattern. Alright, so the basement's open. Let's head down. Darkness surrounds thee. This is my final memoir, hastily scribbled on a page of the good book. I now descend the staircase, knowing full well that she waits for me ahead. Checking my old watch has revealed something quite astonishing. Time doesn't change down here as we know it on the surface. Even now, the hands don't move past 2 o'clock. God's work be done. I have been to where only the faintest lights shine and protect from things unspeakable. God help me, Father Clark, a foolish old man, going mad in this dark prison, ears bleeding from the screams of the demon. Now, the important thing to take away from that note is what it says about 2 o'clock and looking like a clock. Oh, hello there. So these just look like weird symbols on the ground, but if you look at it like a clock, it actually matches like the 12 hours of a clock perfectly. Now, starting at 2 o'clock would be those 2 lines with another line drawn through it on the upper right. So keep that in mind. So here's what happens if you don't step on the correct symbols in this room. Excuse me. So we start at 2 o'clock, and then we just start following the time. So this was at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Alright, and the passage is open. Mother of Demons, and it's those stick figures again. Been a bit since we heard this theme. Hello, dear. Oh, jeez. Well, this looks ritualistic. 3 murdered in latest wave of ritualistic killings. The bodies of 3 young people were discovered in the woods outside of Sterling last night in what authorities are calling a ritualistic murder. Sandra Atwood, Angel Nogales, and Troy Inglis are the names of the unfortunate victims who are apparently stabbed multiple times and beheaded before being killed in a paganistic ritual. Pandemonium Regnat? That's a weird thing to say in a news article. 2 of the victims' bodies were also partially burned, although authorities would not specify who. The bodies were found several miles from Gallup Cemetery, where residents reported a tomb had been desecrated. They also found trails of blood leading off into the woods. Investigators would not comment on whether or not these 2 incidents could be related. The arrangement of the bodies in a ritualistic pattern, as well as the writing of certain symbols in blood, matches the style of several murders that have occurred in the Sterling area since 1986. The killings may be connected to last week's brutal slaying of Amy Martin, a 17-year-old girl by John Ward? Hey, that was a different ending. We didn't actually kill her. Ward had impersonated a priest to gain Amy's trust before luring her into the woods and killing her. Investigators are asking residents to report any suspicious activity to the police. Authorities are urging the people of Sterling to not mourn the loss of Atwood, Nogales, and Inglis because, after all, they were degenerate, devil-worshipping thugs who were hooked on crack cocaine and hated their parents. Why even conduct an investigation at all? That's what you'd like them to think, wouldn't you, John? They were just 3 pathetic outcasts who got what they deserved. You actually did the community a favor when you found them getting high in that tomb. You stalked them through the graves and killed them one by one. You ignored their cries for help, their pleas for mercy. You put holes in their ruined, drug-addict bodies, and then you chopped off their heads because everybody knows that removing the head is the only way to kill a snake. Well, guess what? You didn't kill the snake, John. You cannot kill what cannot be killed. Thou shalt not raise up what you canst not put down again. Thou couldst not kill Amy. Thou shalt not destroy my works, for they are the works of the eternal dragon. Even now she is at thy door. Her hand is at thy throat, yet you see her not. I will have thy soul, for I am the god of this world. Pandemonium regnat, satani vitae. Chaos reigns, hail Satan, or Satan lives. Oh boy. Yep, and there's an inverted cross with a bunch of 6s in it. I'm here, John. Oh, Jesus. Oh no, my body! Oh, great. I've been turned into a scrimblow again. Or a wretch, as I think they're called. Let's get out of here. Ooh, thank goodness that's over. People up there fixing their truck that broke down, I guess. Oh man, the candy tunnel! I hope there's lots of candy in there. Death awaits. Oh. I don't think there's gonna be candy in here at all, John.